Hi everybody, nice seeing you again. I have a student here. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Graham Francis. I play baseball here at Clark College. I've taken Mike Arnold's weightlifting classes.
And so we're here and we're going to talk about the idea of the body being one big long chain. And so when I talk about that, I use terms called the three bands. And the lower band is the band that goes from the ball of the foot to the point of the hip. And there's a number of chain links in there, toe to ankle, ankle to knee, knee to hip. That's the lower band. The mid band goes from the point of the hip to the solar plexus, which you can see is right at the bottom end of where the rib cage is right here. That's the mid band. And then the upper band goes from there out to the end of the hand, or in his case, because he's a baseball player, out at the end of the baseball bat. So we have three bands, the lower band, the middle band, and the upper band. And what we find is a lot of athletes have been taught to train the upper band a lot. Bench press, push-ups, pull-ups, those kinds of things. And we have a lot of athletes that have been taught the lower band, crunches, lunges, squats, those kinds of things. It's the mid band that needs more attention, and most of the time high schoolers that come through are not very well trained in the mid band. Now, I want you to think of this as two big chains. If there was a chain down at the bottom and it was hooked to a truck and it went off in the ditch, and there's a chain at the top and it was up on the road, you had to bring them together, but the chain that comes from the truck in the ditch and the chain that comes from the truck on the road is 2 feet short, and you only tied a piece of rope between them. How strong is the chain? It's only as strong as the weakest link, which would be the 2 pieces of rope. And so what happens is we tend to think a lot of times of training the lower band and the upper band, but we don't think about training the mid band. And so what happens then is the transfer of power that starts in the hips never gets out to the end of the hand and to the implement where it's hitting the baseball. So when you take our classes, especially when you take our 117 and our conditioning classes, with me, I spend a lot of time training this mid band. And what we find is we get faster, we get stronger, we get more explosive power. And the reason why is because now what you have is you have one big long chain that's strong all the way through. It's not just strong on the